All right, it's still July. I'm doing part 2 of this, 22nd, 2012. In my last recording, part 1, which was done earlier this morning, I mentioned that I mentioned Gandhi's film, and I didn't finish because I wanted to impart how dangerous and how severe these damages are when any size bullet goes through a human body that's traveling faster than sound. Now, let me explain further about the biology behind it. When a bullet travels through a body, whether it's an animal, well, humans are animals as far as I'm concerned. They haven't shown me that they're above animals because they fight and kill. Remember what I said about the planet? How it's slated for one thing eating another, one thing taking advantage of another, one thing doing to something destructive to another, or something in one term, in the human language, it's called destructive, but in the scientific terms, it's called the changing of energy. Nobody dies. You just change shape. You no longer can operate the way you're operating as a human being, or a human being, part animal, whatever you want to define it as. When a bullet passes through a body, it goes in and creates a shock wave. The shock wave pushes all the organs away from each other like a balloon. And that balloon literally shocks every nerve ending in that area. The shock wave looks very similar to, I think if any of you have seen the show CSI Miami, it shows a bullet at the very beginning. The introductory of the program shows a bullet going into gel or water, and you see these waves like a boat going outward. Well, that's what happens inside the human body. So it balloons out. If it goes through your central torso, pushes the heart, pushes the liver, pushes everything, boom, like that, in an instant. And then if it passes through you, it actually pushes it out further. So there's a lot of nerve trauma and damage besides the damage that the bullet does. So they asked the general, like in the movie Gandhi, Part 1, I mentioned that movie, and I pretty much reiterated or spoke the lines that were given by Edward Fox and the person on the panel questioning him in the part he was playing in Gandhi, the general. And he says, "General, how does a child shot with a .303 Enfield, which is a rifle, bolt-action rifle, apply for help?" At that point, the movie goes dark, and then the next scene is Gandhi sitting there going, "You've done the ultimate thing that you could do in our country." And Gandhi says to them, "It's time that you leave." And he says, "I'm sure that we'd rather deal with our own bad government than your government, because then we would have our freedom. The freedom that India was striving for away from England." But England isn't the only one that does this. They sent people, went away from England because of religious persecution and ended up here. And then they took over the persecution of the native peoples here, which were erroneously called Indians, and then you took over the country. Then bad things start happening in Europe again, and you send the people that are here, the ancestors, back over to Europe and the Middle East to fight wars because none of you are really independent of foreign control, which is one of the qualifications to be a legitimate state, a legitimate country. Remember, there are 4 qualifications to be legitimate. 1, territory. 2, people. 3, the ability to keep contracts. And 4, independent of foreign control. This was taught in the 50s in universities, in the Encyclopedia Britannica. Now they also say there's a lot of argument between legal authorities around the world, international legal authorities, that claim that you don't have to fulfill every one of those to the letter. But there are other people of other opinions. Yes, you do, in order to have a legitimate state. So this is where I get my point about being HRM, Caesar St. Augustine de Bonaparte, Emperor of the United States of Turtle Island, which I renamed America Turtle Island, in homage to the actual native peoples who actually already named this country. The German map maker who stuck America on there had no right sticking it on there without asking the native peoples, is it okay if we name your country America? I've never seen the native peoples get together and vote on whether they liked or approved the name America, much less approving of what the white man did, or the settlers did. We won't even call them white men. The settlers did when they came here and took the land and would not keep the contracts, the ability to keep contracts. So you failed in two areas, Mr. Obama, Mr. Romney, Mr. Society. You're the ones that are evil. So when these negative things happen of shootings and destructions and these anomalies of violence that happen, they happen not because of the laws. They happen because you're all idiots and morons. You're all addicted to, see that stuff going by me? You're all addicted to the motorcycles. You're addicted to the cars and the cigarettes you smoke, and addicted to the bad foods that you eat, and the bad health issues that you people cause on each other and on people like me. Your color of laws are evil. They're sick. Now, am I using the Colorado shooting as a soapbox? Well, if you check one of my past videos, I made comments about the congresswoman getting shot, and that little girl and the other people getting shot there. Or a shooting that took place at that, down in, one of the beach communities down here, the beauty salon shooting. And of course everybody's going to say, because there have been so many shootings, so many times, they instituted new gun laws and this and that, but I've already told you, I know how to stop it. Instantly. Without any problem. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to get maybe a lot of beef from the NRA, but since I have a background in firearms extensively, I pretty much know what they need and how they need it. Because I also have a background in biology, and I know what kind of damage these things do. And I know that you people in the world shouldn't be in possession of any weapons, including the police, because you're all idiots. You haphazardly juggle these laws, not to fit the situation, but to take advantage of people. The law and the procedure of law means more than making a common sense decision to do the right thing. The president is not the president. I overthrew the country in 1996. I've been your emperor and president and actual leader of this country since 1996. I challenged the Clinton administration. I sent a declaration of war to the Pentagon, to everybody. This is why I'm blacklisted against the media. They say, oh, this guy's crazy. I did that thing symbolically. And you, Mr. Alleged Puppet President, and Mr. Bush and Mr. Clinton and whoever it's been for the last 3 decades, it doesn't matter. You're the ones that are sick. And the media's sick along with you. They just keep cranking the story. And he had 3,000 rounds, and he had this, and he had this. Crank the story. Keep cranking it. Keep cranking it. Wow, we're getting a lot of sponsors. They're gonna, and of course the sponsors are gonna play the game too and juggle the compassion juggle. I call it the compassionate juggle. While they're juggling the compassion and sending waves of compassion statements and even flowers and get well cards and well wishers, they're still putting the sponsors on the TV. They're still trying to sell their brand new car and their cell phones and their this and that. You're the ones that are nuts. Look at it. Look at it. And while you're at it, sit in total filth and guilt. Filth of the spirit, if there's such a thing, that your country did 30 years worth of damage to me, stole every car, truck, boat, took everything of my possessions, even affected my health. So of course I'm going to say, you deserve all of it. I remember seeing the movie Elmer Gantry, and Burt Lancaster did great in that movie. And he gets up there and he says, we're all sinners. It's like, you want to sin so you can be forgiven. And then after you're forgiven, you go sin again. And then you're forgiven again. This is a stupid game. It's a stupid way of thinking. Either do what you say, walk your talk, and make sure that you've done research and that the item you're using to make a better social order actually works. Test it out first. It takes time to test things out. That's why we have researchers do that. But you people, you people are beyond common sense. Sure, I don't care about living anymore. You people have taken everything precious away from me, but the most precious thing, besides my possessions and all the things I worked for so long and so hard, you took my young years. You impeded, you interrupted, you destroyed my life. Every day, every year that I have to move and move and move because of one reason or another, every reason that I'm living for has been forced on me. So you are actually terrorists. Your society, all of America, every state of the Union is nothing but a terrorism on me. And so, yeah, I'll be glad the day I die. I don't care about living. I want to die. Maybe I'll commit suicide at some point, you know, because it's just pointless. The whole thing is pointless. You've already taken everything away from me. My teeth are bad. I found blood in my stools the other day, a month ago. You know, I don't care about living. Why should I care? So, if there really is a God, sure, God, come take my life and let all those other people live, to go on continuing being hypocrites, paying taxes into a government that kills, that uses the money, 75% of your taxes, to kill innocent children in other countries. So did those people deserve to die? I think that's a question that really needs to be investigated on a super high, the highest spiritual level you could ever find. A spiritual level that's above and beyond any church or any number of churches. I don't care if you're Muslim, Jew, Christian, whatever you believe in, you're all hypocrites. Because you're all conforming, you're all contributing to the end result of the violence on the planet. And instead of giving me a chance, you are watching me die. Remember, all my more than 200 videos is about me dying. I'm slowly being tortured to death. Slowly watching every possession I ever worked for being taken from me. Doesn't matter what the possessions are. You have no business questioning me about my possessions, or how they look, or how ugly they look. I see. I'm judged because I have ugly possessions. Well, that's all I can afford. Can you please leave me alone? No. You are going to, come hell or high water, you're going to impose your stinking rule on me and destroy my life. So those people that died, they're lucky. They don't have to live anymore. I envy them. I really do. I envy that they're dead. Why am I left alive to live through this crap that you people shoveled on me for decades? So you deserve it all. And there's more kooks and nuts out there. It doesn't matter how many gun control things you have. They'll figure out some way around it to bring death and destruction to a country that has caused death and destruction. Hey, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. That's what revenge is all about. Well, 16 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm going to stop this one, and I don't know. Maybe I'll do another one. I'm not sure. Oh, and wait for Obama and Romney to meet me on stage and debate with me for the office of president. But I don't want the office of president because it's an illegal office according to me. There would be some heavy-duty changes that I would want the people to vote for about the powers of the presidency and just how far we can take this as a people who are fed up with stupid thinking.